Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Telecommuting for Success series. And I am here once again with Austin Bauer. And he's going to share with us some wonderful tips for celebrating little wins, especially if now that we're in a state of greater isolation in so many respects, greater than we've ever experienced. Being in a state of agency and kind of patting ourselves on the back is really, really important. So, Austin, lead us out. What is one of your favorite tips for celebrating a little win?
Well, the number one thing that I ask people to do in any coach training workshops or coaching is to have an easily accessible document on your desktop or keep it on your phone. And every time you do something in your job that stretched you, that challenged you, no matter what the outcome was, if you put forth sort of a different type of effort than you usually do, if you've done something you've never done before, keep that list of wins and get into the habit of adding at least a few things a week. And what's really interesting about that is that it gives people the chance to reflect on the progress that they are making toward their professional goals or the ways that they're growing personally. And that doesn't tend to happen if we don't take that pause to look back on it. Oftentimes we're doing great things, but we never take a moment to look back. And so it's hard to really see and stay encouraged by that progress.
Yeah, we can kind of get lost in the overarching umbrella of what we're doing and miss all of the little incremental steps that we take along the way. Now, I also feel like that would be very helpful to have when it's time to do a performance review, a little bit of a hack for that process.
Absolutely. So not only is it encouraging to see pages and pages of all the great things you've done over the past 6 months, but then you have so much fodder for asking for the more responsibility or the raise, whatever it may be. You can remember those specific examples, because what I've seen is the main complaint of performance reviews is that they tend to be based on a few people's experience with you from the past 4 to 8 weeks. It's really, there's this recency element to it. And so some things you may have done 8 months ago could get lost unless you are keeping track and paying attention.
And that's very much how the brain functions, the recency effect. We remember what just happened, and a performance review can span an entire year. And so having this list is not only a pat on the back of, wow, I love that, pages and pages of things that you've accomplished. It's also a really good prompt to be able to access and look where I was in January of this year, and look where I am now in December. And to have that journey documented of all of those successes along the way.
Absolutely, definitely. And the process itself too, I often like to cite this study that looked at 10,000 journal entries from people working in various positions, and 76% of them, so 3/4 of them, reported that their best days were when they made incremental progress toward their goals. So it wasn't about getting the huge raise or the huge promotion, because from the research that I've seen, that feeling does not last. That's a high that dissipates pretty quickly.
Dopamine and then gone.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then I mean, you can speak to this better than I can, but possibly a trough after that, where suddenly now there's a lot ahead of me, and I actually have more on my shoulders that I even want to.
That's such a big part. Yeah. Oh wait, so I've accomplished this and now I have to do more.
Right.
That happens so often. And so I feel like this list is really a testimony to the ideas of grit and the growth mindset. The fact that you're building the stepwise progress. And so when you do get the big win, you hit the top of the mountain and you go, oh my gosh, there's another mountain ahead of me. You can look back and go and look at all of the skills and the tools that I have to go take on that next mountain. How exciting.
100%. Yes, absolutely. And I find that it's so important just to stay engaged in the day-to-day. If we're constantly looking for the next promotion, we need to be thinking about what is today, what is this week getting me. So we're really working more in the present, and we have our heads on the task and the work at hand.
Now, are you finding, as you know, it's April 2020, the coronavirus is unfolding, we're still in shelter in place or safer at home, depending on where you are in the nation. Are you finding that people are struggling a little bit more without getting that external reinforcement that we would usually get in the office?
Yeah, and that's where it comes down to at this point, is overcommunicating and asking managers to be is a compliment is rarely
Mm.
annoying. You know, if you can get, if your
Oh,
people are,
rarely annoying.
right.
I
It
love
takes,
compliments. They're never
it
annoying.
takes quite a bit.
Tell me
And
some
so,
more.
right. Don't feel like you're coddling as a manager. Don't feel like you're coddling by doing that. The more appreciation we give, especially now, they'll let you know if it's too much. And they'll also know if it's genuine or not.
Yeah.
And so, tapping into what are the things that I really appreciate about these people and finding a platform to do it. Sometimes people will, as people already did before the pandemic, is write the Friday letter to the company and say, here are our wins and some shout outs and things like that.
Yeah.
You can bring that into Slack channels. You can bring, have times once a week, once a month where people really share those shout outs if that's not something that you're already doing.
Or even, I wonder, we like to start our team meetings with, we do a little havening exercise for connection and engagement. And then we share wins, whether it be wins with a project or with a patient, just to kind of give ourselves a little communal pat on the back. And having that opportunity scheduled each week really encourages us each independently to think about what wins have I accomplished. And in a time where there is a lot of additional stress and cortisol present, because there is a lot of uncertainty around us right now, it encourages the brain to move into a shift of optimism and motivation.
Yeah. It's just so strange how we seem to have the blinders to the positive things a lot, and we're just always on to the next challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And so scheduling, I think with so many things, scheduling that time to do it. Also, this is a different topic, but scheduling breaks and things like that, especially with the constant work and home life being melded. Making time to do the things that maybe in the past would have happened more organically in person.
So what I'm hearing you say even is scheduling a time to fill out your list at the end of each day.
100%, yes. On my calendar every day from 5 to 5:30 is journal, and it is exactly that. There are the goals, the things that I'm working on. What did I do on that today? How am I feeling about it? And it's more than anything, it's encouraging. It shows the progress every day. It's a great tool.
And then maybe even every morning with your coffee, go back, even flip back maybe a month and look at your successes from a month ago.
Absolutely. And it's so easy to forget to do that. So scheduling the reflection to look back on all of the things you've done. Yeah.
So any last takeaway tips? I know you mentioned to me before, I've known Austin quite some time, and he's really helped me build and develop the culture of my organization. And we've kind of joked around about the celebrity cameo apps. And I feel like right now, one of the things that's missing is, we're on screen time so much, but there is a lack of a human connection point. So any way we can, bring in this affirmation, the pat on the back moments using screens, maybe a little surprising ways that you'd recommend leaders or colleagues do that.
Definitely. This is maybe less an accomplishment than it is. Well, one client had a birthday, and so they got everybody. They sent a 5-minute calendar invite for a Zoom chat, and everybody got on and sang this person happy birthday because everybody's stuck at home. So that was just a nice cultural moment. Yeah. Other ways to connect with your team, if you're the type of person who pops into people's offices and relays some good client feedback that they got or something, it does not take much to be on your couch in the evening and take a selfie of 20 seconds of just that genuine thank you, just as you would with them in the office. I find there's something interesting. You could do that you could be on your next Zoom call and stay, all right, stay on
my
for
next
a couple
question.
minutes.
What's the difference between, picking up the phone and having that conversation versus sending a little video of it?
Yeah. Well, so it feels like when you do the video, there is a gift. There was an intention behind the action. They can watch it several times. And I would imagine that people would watch that more than once, because it's like, oh, that isn't just a thing that happened once. That was a gift that was wrapped up, even if it's just wrapped in a .mov file. Yeah.
The intention behind it. And I know I would probably watch it multiple times.
Yeah, yeah. There's something about it. It's less ephemeral, and there's a permanence to it.
So what I'm hearing, are kind of our takeaway tips here, and of course this will be in the notes summary. Make your list of successes and be really intentional about scheduling that to do at the end of each day. And even if you have the opportunity, bring in some journaling. Keep that document going across the course of the year, not just through this unique time that we're in right now, because it will help out in your performance reviews and give you some additional fodder to throw at your management or your leadership when you're saying, I'm ready for the next step. And also being intentional to find moments to review that list. And then take these little bite-sized moments of affirmation and share them. And really connect that way, and just keep giving yourself those pats on the back, because things are different, but doesn't mean that things are going to be hard. There's so much opportunity for growth and change. And I know, Austin, one of your core pieces here is about innovation, that it's about creation and creativity. And so if anybody's looking to do a little bit more in-depth exploration of their culture, Austin can be found at Simple Progress. And I couldn't recommend working with him more. He's a brilliant, really fun human. And stay tuned we'll have a couple more episodes with him talking about fun tips for team bonding and engagement, as well as how do we set healthy boundaries going forward. So anything you'd like to sign us off with here, Austin?
No, that was a great conclusion. I would say don't be afraid to pick up the phone and connect. Like it's hard to go overboard right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So err on the side of more connection, have fun. Don't be afraid to be goofy, and try new things. There is no better time to experiment with your culture than right now.
Yeah. Innovate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Austin, so much. Again,
Hey.
Austin's contact information will be in the show summary, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Thanks.